All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning, I'm Anuja Kumar. The headlines. Muslim Women Protection of Rights on Marriage Bill to be tabled in Rajya Sabha today. National Investigation Agency carries out fresh searches in Delhi in connection with activities of Islamic State module. Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's Awami League registers landslide victory in parliamentary elections. Intense cold wave conditions continue to grip several parts of the country. In sports, Kidambi Srikanth led Bengaluru Raptors beat Pune 7 Aces in Premier Badminton League. And Women's National Boxing Championship begins in Vijayanagara, Karnataka today. The Muslim Women Protection of Rights on Marriage Bill is scheduled to be tabled in the Rajya Sabha today. It was passed by the Lok Sabha on Thursday amid a walkout by the opposition. The bill makes all declarations of instant triple talaq void and illegal. It seeks to make the practice a punishable offence with imprisonment of up to 3 years. Law and Justice Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad will table the bill. On Friday, Mr. Prasad expressed hope that the bill will find support in the Rajya Sabha, where the BJP-led NDA lacks numbers.
इतना हम अवश्य अपेक्षा करेंगे कि ये बिल कोई राजनीतिक विरोध का नहीं है। अगर भारत के हमारे जो विक्टिम महिलाएं हैं 3 तलाक की, उनको न्याय देने की बात हो रही है तो उसमें देखने की जरूरत है और इसे वोट बैंक के चश्मे से न देखा जाए, ये हमारी अपेक्षा होगी। मुझे लगता है कि राज्यसभा की परिपक्वता और ऐसे मसलों की संवेदनशीलता के महत्व को मैं समझता हूं और हमें लगता है कि राज्यसभा में हमें सहयोग मिलेगा।
Our correspondent has filed this report.
Both BJP and Congress have issued whips asking their members in the upper house to be present. On the other hand, the main opposition Congress has said it will not allow passing of the bill in its present form. The opposition has demanded that the bill be sent to a joint select panel for review before it is passed by the parliament. The bill was passed in the Lok Sabha on Thursday with 245 voting in favour and 11 opposing it amid a walkout by Congress, NCP and others. During the prolonged debate, all parties unequivocally spoke about the evils of instant triple talaq. The opposition parties, however, protested against the provision to make instant triple talaq a criminal offence. Declared illegal in about 20 Islamic countries, the instant triple talaq was declared against law in India by the order of the Supreme Court. Anupam Mishra, AI News, Delhi.
The National Investigation Agency, NIA, carried out fresh searches at several places in Delhi and questioned a few suspects in connection with its probe into the new Islamic State module of Harkat-ul-Harb-e-Islam. A senior NIA official said that the agency carried out searches at few places in East Delhi's Jafrabad area yesterday. The counter-terror probe agency's action comes 4 days after it arrested 10 people, including the group head Mufti Muhammad Suhail, as they were allegedly planning terror attacks. The accused were planning to target some political personalities and security establishments, as well as crowded places in Delhi and the National Capital Region. Earlier on 26th of this month, NIA had carried out searches at over 17 places in Delhi and Uttar Pradesh. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate Indian Science Congress 2019 in Jalandhar, Punjab on January 3rd. This will be the 106th edition of the event based on the theme Future India, Science and Technology. An official release said the Prime Minister will also address about 30,000 delegates, including Nobel laureates, eminent scientists, policy makers, young researchers and school children from across the country and abroad. During the 5-day-long Congress, more than 100 conferences and events on science and technology will be held. Confederation of Indian Industry, CII, has said that India will witness strong economic growth next year, despite external vulnerabilities arising from rising oil prices, the US-China trade war, and America's monetary tightening. In its growth outlook for 2019, the industry body said its optimism is buttressed by strong drivers emanating from services and infrastructure sectors. In a statement, it also said better demand conditions, settled GST implementation, capacity expansion from growing investments in infrastructure, continuing positive effects of reform policies and improved credit offtake will sustain the robust GDP growth in the range of 7.5% in New Year. Former Congress leader Sajjan Kumar is expected to surrender before the authorities today. Delhi High Court had sentenced Kumar to life in jail in one of the cases of the 1984 anti-Sikh riots. The court had also levied a fine of 5 lakh rupees on him and directed him to surrender by today. The High Court turned down his request, seeking 1 more month to surrender. Kumar has also approached the Supreme Court, challenging his conviction and life imprisonment. The case was registered against him by the CBI on the recommendation of Nanavati Commission. In Uttar Pradesh, 11 persons have been arrested so far in connection with the death of a policeman in Stole Penting in Ghazipur district. Director General of Police O.P. Singh said that strict action will be taken against those involved in the violence. UP Police Constable Suresh Pratap Vats died of stone pelting by the Nishad Party workers last week. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts. You can also log on to our website newsonair.nic.in. Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has secured her 3rd consecutive term with a landslide victory, the Election Commission said today. Ms. Hasina's ruling party Awami League won 287 of the 298 seats, for which results have been declared for the 300-strong parliament, the Commission said, while the main opposition alliance dominated by the Bangladesh Nationalist Party secured just 6 seats. A party needs 151 seats to form a government. Election Commission Secretary Hilal Uddin Ahmad, in a televised address this morning, announced the victory of the ruling party. Opposition NUF alliance has rejected the outcome of the general election and demanded fresh polls under a neutral caretaker government. At least 17 people were killed in poll-related violence yesterday. Back home, intense cold wave conditions continue to grip several parts of the country. In Delhi, the minimum temperature dropped to 3 degrees Celsius, 4 notches below normal yesterday. In Haryana, Hisar reeled at 1.6 degrees Celsius as unrelenting cold wave intensifies in the state and neighbouring Punjab yesterday. In Punjab, Gurdaspur was the coldest place, recording a low of 2.4 degrees Celsius. Talking to AIR this morning, Met Department official M. Mohapatra said that cold wave conditions will prevail in northern part of the country.
अभी नॉर्थ ईस्ट इंडिया में लगभग अधिकांश जगह पर कोल्ड वेव टू सीवियर कोल्ड वेव जारी है और पंजाब हरियाणा के कुछ इलाके में फॉग भी सुबह के टाइम पर हो रहा है। ये स्थिति अगले 2 दिन तक रहेगी। इसके बाद स्थिति में सुधार आएगी क्योंकि एक वेस्टर्न डिस्टर्बेंस नॉर्थ ईस्ट इंडिया को प्रभावित करने की उम्मीद किया जा रहा है। इसके प्रभाव में विंड पैटर्न में चेंज होगा और 2 दिन के बाद टेम्परेचर थोड़ा राइज होगा और कोल्ड वेव में थोड़ा सुधार आएगा।
There is no respite from cold in Uttarakhand, with higher reaches of the state reeling under sub-zero temperature. In Uttar Pradesh, mercury continues to plummet due to intense cold wave conditions. Our correspondent reports that Muzaffarnagar continues to be the coldest place in state, recording the lowest temperature of 1.2 degrees.
In Bareilly, Meerut, Agra, Raebareli, Shahjahanpur, Kanpur and Sultanpur districts, minimum temperature recorded between 1 to 4 degrees. In the capital city Lucknow also, temperature recorded 5 degrees below normal and it was 3.3 degrees Celsius. Fog has badly affected the rail and road traffic, especially in western and Tarai part of the state. Long distance trains are running hours behind schedule while road traffic disrupted owing to poor visibility. According to Met officials, the chilly and foggy conditions are likely to continue in the coming days. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Lucknow.
In Bihar, Gaya was the coldest place yesterday at 2.7 degrees Celsius, which was 6 degrees below its normal minimum temperature. Most parts of Odisha is also reeling under intense cold wave, with the mercury plummeting to 3 degrees Celsius at Daringbadi in Kandhamal district, making it the coldest place in the state. Our correspondent reports that mercury dropped below 10 degrees Celsius in 18 towns and cities in the state, with Bhubaneswar experiencing 8.2, the lowest recorded in the capital city in the last 22 years.
Due to drop in mercury, many birds were found dead in several parts of the state, particularly from the high altitude areas of the hilly region. The Nandankanan Zoological Park in the outskirts of the capital city Bhubaneswar has taken all possible steps to prevent any kind of problem that can affect lives of the animals. The local Met Office said severe cold wave conditions are likely to continue over some parts of the interior of Odisha till next 4 to 5 days. SN Patnaik, AIR News, Sambalpur.
The Lajpat Nagar Mayur Vihar Pocket 1 corridor on the Pink Line of Delhi Metro will be thrown open for public today. Around 10-kilometer stretch is the extension of 59-kilometer long Majlis Park Shiv Vihar corridor, and it will be a major boon for the commuters of prominent areas like Ashram and Mayur Vihar. With the opening of this section, the Delhi Metro network will become 327 kilometers long with 236 metro stations. In Delhi, police have made elaborate arrangements on roads across the city in a bid to ease traffic on the New Year's Eve, with a special focus on Connaught Place and the areas around it. In a statement, police said all kinds of vehicles will be restricted from 8 p.m. onwards at Connaught Place till the celebrations conclude. A special drive against drunk driving, jumping signals and dangerous driving will be undertaken by the traffic police. The News Services Division of All India Radio is broadcasting its year-end program series. In the series today, we will bring you comprehensive analysis of the Union Government's flagship schemes. Tune into the FM Gold channel from 9:15 p.m. to listen to this special series. The programs will also be available on our website newsonair.com. You can share your feedback about the program at our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts with hashtag AIREarEnd. In the Premier Badminton League, Kidambi Srikanth-led Bengaluru Raptors beat Pune 7 Aces 4-3 in Pune yesterday. Srikanth notched up a thrilling win over Ajay Jairam of Bengaluru Raptors in men's singles. Third edition of Women's National Boxing Championships begins in Vijayanagara, Karnataka today. The country's top boxers will be vying for top honours. With close to 250 entries received from 31 states and institutions, pugilists will compete in all 10 weight categories. And now for an overview of today's newspapers, it's over to Abhishek Kumar.
Thank you, Anuja. Covering the Prime Minister's Andaman and Nicobar visit, almost all the dailies have reported about the announcement of renaming 3 islands of the archipelago as tribute to Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. Triple Talaq Bill likely to face stiff resistance in Rajya Sabha, reports The Hindu. On Bangladesh general election, all the dailies have given a positive note to the coming back of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. 17 die as Bangla votes, Hasina landslide likely, writes the Asian Age. On the fraudsters looting crores of rupees from the banking system, the Indian Express quotes the RBI, banks lost 41,167 crore rupees to fraud in 2017-18. Climate change threatens Kisan, states the pioneer on the climate change and global warming set to affect production of several crops in 2020. The passing away of filmmaker Mrinal Sen at the age of 95 makes headlines on the front page of most of the newspapers. Last of Ray, Ghatak, Sen triumvirate lives live stage, reports the Hindustan Times. The Times of India on its front page covers the story of pendency of judicial cases in district and subordinate courts, stating 140 cases pending in lower courts for more than 60 years. On the Pakistan Army eyeing purchase of some 360 Russian-made tanks, the Tribune states, Pak wants T-90 tanks. Moscow holds the key. Delhi hopes Russia refuses. 2 premier management institutes, IIM Bangalore and Ahmedabad, have proposed to add 800 more seats between them in the coming year, reports the Times of India. And finally, ensuring women's safety and responsible partying by New Year revelers, the Hindustan Times reports 15,000 cops on Delhi streets to ensure safe New Year's Eve, with the Connaught Place to be pedestrianized, allowing no vehicular movement. And with that, it's back to you, Anuja.
Thank you, Abhishek. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Muslim Women Protection of Rights on Marriage Bill to be tabled in Rajya Sabha today. National Investigation Agency carries out fresh searches in Delhi in connection with activities of Islamic State module. Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's Awami League registers landslide victory in parliamentary elections. Intense cold wave conditions continue to grip several parts of the country. In sports, Kidambi Srikanth-led Bengaluru Raptors beat Pune 7 Aces in Premier Badminton League, and Women's National Boxing Championship begins in Vijayanagara, Karnataka today. With that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.